Hello, this is Robin, and I'm just going to go through a few of the little tricks of the trade regarding Canvas and little helpful time-saving hints. I've been over these a couple of years now. Feel free to come ask me if this doesn't make sense, but this might help being able to watch it real quick. First option is the comment library. The comment library can be found right here. It's this button. All you need to do is click on that button, and anything that you're saying often to kids, if you're saying the same items, you can add these. So this is a picture of my comment library. This one gets used a lot when kids think they make a submission and forget to attach the picture. Anytime I get something late, they automatically only get half credit. So if I'm giving a kid half credit, I like for them to know why. And so that gets used a lot. I have about 20 comments now. This says 12. I'm up to 20 things I say a lot. And so type those in, save them, and then you can just click on them, and it does save an immense amount of time. Comment library is one of my favorite features in Canvas. Make sure you know how to filter the grade books. This is one thing that generally updates almost every year. We will be utilizing the filter soon when we go to the second 9 weeks. I use this filter by section every day, each class period. When I'm looking to see who's missing something in a class period, I filter it to just students in period 1 or 2 or whatever class or period you're in, and then I can see who's got things missing and who does not. But like I said, this changes usually often where this button is, but this filter is what lets you look at various classes individually, and when we go to second 9 weeks, third 9 weeks, and such. That's what you will need to be using. SpeedGrader. This has been out and about. I hope everybody knows that when you are grading in SpeedGrader, if you go to this widget's on the top left side of your Canvas page or of any assignment. And once you set this assignment, or once you set this setting, it stays with you until you have to do a reset of your computer. Like if you needed to not restart it, but if you ever had to like re-image it or something like that, you could potentially lose this option. It's like settings that's saved. So under this widget, you get SpeedGrader options, and you want to sort students by submission status. And that is what will pull all of your needs grading to the top so that you're not scrolling up and down looking for orange dots and grade checks and such. And when you're grading in this method, you can, as soon as you get to one that's empty, you know everything on from that point on is empty. It is a great feature. If you're not using it, you should be. If you know somebody that's not, or if you know we get new teachers, please share that with them right away. Make sure you save this setting, and again, it will be saved there for a very long time. If you ever lose that setting, there's how you can get to that. This was a game changer for lots of people last year, and that was on getting your submissions in. When you are making an assignment, any type of assignment, only give students the option of text box. This will make your grading life so much easier. Do not give them these options. Okay, only this. From text entry, they can add a picture. They can add a file. They can add a video. They can do all kinds of things, but it will already be in there, pasted in there, and it will alleviate you having to click on links to open things and wait. That dreaded gray circle of downtime while you're waiting on the next thing to be visible will be eliminated. It is a great feature. They can submit any of these items in that text box. Kids get freaked out about it at the beginning of the year. They should all be well trained in that now. Anytime you're doing any kind of files, hopefully you're having them take pictures of most things and submitting those. That's the easiest and definitely the fastest. But they can also submit a file in a text box. Missing assignments. Okay, if you enter any score for an assignment, you will notice that the red box goes away. So if I decide I'm going to go in here and say this student didn't do this and put a 0 in here, as soon as I make that a 0, the red goes away and it's no longer flagged missing. I'm already on to a few students this year who know how to keep their parents from yelling at them because their parents are looking for missing assignments. And if you enter a score of 0, it's no longer flagged missing. So you can go in and mark them all missing, but that takes some time. I'm going to show you a couple ways to do that. But I like to go in and use the set default grade. And I set default grade to 0 for everybody that doesn't have a grade. Now, this is a huge piece. You have to have everything in that column graded before you do this. So if I have a bunch of assignments to grade and I have like 22 kids that didn't turn their assignment in, I need to grade everybody's submission and then go back and do the set default grade. That might seem overwhelming if you're looking at your whole grade book. So that's where you can go back to these filters and filter it and do it by section. So you just have a couple there, and that way you can kind of stay up with that. But this is awesome because it puts in a 0. These are the steps. Select the 3 dots, select default grade, enter a 0, do not check override. Okay, this will give everything missing a 0, and it leaves the box red. So instead of going in and putting a 0 and then having to go in and click the red pencil in the Skyward panel or in the Canvas panel, this will just keep them all zeros. We'll keep them all red, but give them a score of 0. This is what I was referencing about the shortcuts in the SpeedGrader panel. So when you go to grade something here, instead of clicking all the way into SpeedGrader, which is what you would click on right here, you can put your cursor right here and that will open up this side panel. Here you can put a 0 in and then click missing. You can also type things like absent or whatever's going on there, and that will give information back to your students without you having to go into each individual assignment. So like if I was grading this, I would go into all these non-submissions and I would hit 0, and then this would change here to none because there's a score like we just talked about. I would click this missing button and then I would click absent or whatever the case might be. If they just didn't turn it in, I would just click missing and keep moving on. But I like this shortcut SpeedGrader panel. It's on the left or the right-hand side. When you click on something in your gradebook before you get into the real true SpeedGrader screen. Finally, new quizzes, and please know I am not a guru. The science department and the wellness department are awesome at using quizzes. I dabble in quizzes very little. I learned some things last spring that were pretty awesome that I wanted to learn more about. And the only way to do those were in new quizzes. So I went to the new quizzes training, and I may pull those out. I may not. I haven't decided. But what I want you to know is that everything that we've been learning can be found, everything I know, and there is a pretty good module. If you have a specific question, you can go to your Panda card. If everybody knows what this is your professional learning all about Canvas. And the very first item is this quiz time, migrating and using new quizzes. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that a lot of people don't love the new quizzes, and there are some bumps in the road, which is why we've held out as long as possible. Some people are using them and don't find a problem with them. Some people hate them. One of the biggest concerns right now is that they do not share to Commons yet. So your old quizzes you can find it, but if you make a new quiz and want to share it, you cannot share it to Commons, which means you can't get any new quizzes from Commons, only the old ones. You can bring an old quiz in from Commons and migrate it. But if you migrate one and want to share it, that has not happening yet. Canvas is aware and supposedly working on it. Just so you know what migrating looks like, if you want to play around with this today in our extra time, you take a quiz, and I've got this one highlighted that has the blank rocket ship, and you click on it. Actually, you go over here to the side panel, and you click on these 3 dots, and then you simply click migrate. And once you click migrate, you will see that it creates a new copy of the new one with the black filled in rocket ship. Mine are highlighted green here, the old ones, because I've used those. And then I migrated it, and while kids were taking it, I was looking at the new one to see if I thought that would work the next year when I needed to go. And if it won't, then you need to be making notes, figuring out, okay, I'm going to have to get this fixed. Maybe you can fix it right then. I don't really know. If you want to know things you can do, back to this Canvas, it includes all kinds of things that you can do. And again, this does get you your PGP if you're looking to make those, make up some hours of time that you need to make up for whatever reason that is the case. Okay. Couple things about the new quizzes that I want you to make sure that you're aware of if you're starting to mess around and migrate those, if you want to practice that. When you hit migrate here, it creates it, and notice it says migrated quizzes. So in order to be able to use that and sync it with your Skyward, this is going to always have to be changed because it comes over or creates as something in a different category. So you would need to change that to accuracy or formative or summative or whatever the case might be. This submission type, we should never touch. Never touch that. That's the new quiz piece. And so right now those should not be changing. They should be grayed out and you shouldn't be able to, but if for some reason you get the chance to, don't. And then the bottom of the screen looks just like normal. Assign it to everyone, assign it from this due date and that due date. When you are migrating quizzes, one thing that you definitely want to do before you migrate it, or when you migrate it, is you got to change this due date and make sure the due date gets changed into the current school year, or you won't be able to do that. I'm saying this backwards. You should have it in your current class before you migrate it. So what I'm saying is you cannot migrate from a previous course. So a lot of us copy things we did last year into this year, and every year you're copying your quizzes over. You need to copy over the quiz, change the due date to something that's this year, and then you can migrate it. You cannot migrate a quiz that is not in the calendar year. So some people were trying to migrate quizzes in last year's courses, and it won't let you. It won't show up. That's because we're not in this year time. So if you're moving a quiz over, move it to your class and then switch the date and then migrate it from there. That would be the workflow there. And that concludes my helpful hints and tricks related to Canvas. Thanks for watching.